Hello, and welcome to PCI's Tech TV. In this episode, I will demonstrate how to use 3D FeatureXtract simple interface and tools to extract basic 3D objects. To help demonstrate these concepts, we will extract the XYZ coordinates from 3 different objects in high-resolution stereo imagery, captured from a DMC sensor. Okay, let's begin. So once we have our imagery loaded into the software, we can simply go down to this bar at the bottom. We can select the image that we want to begin working with, right-click on it, and send it to the appropriate viewer. And we can then do the same with the other image that contains overlap. The first object we're going to extract is the XY position and height of a light standard. This is a very nice object to work with due to its simplicity, and it will show off the concepts, the basic concepts of working with 3D FeatureXtract quite nicely. So once we have our images loaded and we identify where our light standard is that we want to extract, we can then go and lock the 2 views. This way when we zoom in and out, it's going to zoom in and out on the approximately the same position in both images. And then we can go to the Feature Extraction tab here to begin digitizing our object. So for this case, because it's just a simple position of a light standard, we're going to click on the point tool. We can then hold down the Control key on the keyboard and push the left mouse button in order to select the object. And now you can see that it also puts that same point in the adjacent image. Now if we want to extract the height from this, we can then drag this point along the epipolar axis. As you can see, you can only drag it along the epipolar axis until it overlaps the same light standard. And in order to do that, I click on the Move Epipolar button. So once we have the point on the exact same feature in 2 images, we can properly triangulate the X, Y, and Z position of the top or of the light standard itself. The next concept that we want to show is digitizing a basic building with a flat rooftop and then extruding down to the digital elevation model or the bare earth. So we're going to apply a lot of the same concepts that we did earlier, but this time we're going to use the polygon tool in order to digitize the object. So we're going to zoom in nice and close, hold the Control key down to open up the object. Once we have opened up the object, we no longer need to hold the Control key. We can simply right-click to set our different vertices. We're going to outline the building. You want to be about as accurate as you can. And then once we have collected our final vertex, we can simply right-click on the mouse to close the object. As you can see in the other view, there is still an offset with that object, but so long as we have the Move Epipolar button selected, we can drag that polygon along the epipolar axis until it lines up nicely with the building rooftop in the other image. Then with the same polygon selected, we can click on the Extrude Polygon button in order to extrude the object down to the DEM. Now these buildings have, as you can see, a little bit of overhang, and depending on the accuracy of the DEM in this area, we might need to adjust the extrusion a little bit. So we can simply click on the Move Z-axis button here, select our object, select the lower polygon, and then we can drag it now up and the Z-axis until it lines up with the bottom of the building. And just like that, we have now created a basic outline of our building as a 3D object. So finally, we're going to work with a slightly more complex building. This building has a pitched roof, and luckily we have nice tools that we can use in the software in order to help facilitate the creation of this roof and of this building. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that once again we have the Move Epipolar button selected. And then using the polygon tool again, we're going to draw the outline of the building at a single elevation. And then we'll close that object, and then we're going to drag, once again in the other viewer, that object so that it overlaps the same building, thus triangulating the position of that feature. Then to build our roof, with the polygon selected, we're going to click Build Roof tool, and we're going to select Pitched, and it's going to construct a default pitched roof. We can then click OK, and we can just edit this slightly in one of our viewers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select just this line here, And I'm going to drag that in the epipolar domain so it overlaps that line here in the roof. Then finally, I'm going to move it by freehand. Just move this line up slightly so that it overlaps the outline of the roof. And now we can see that we get that same line on both objects, or on both images. Now the last thing we're going to do again is we're going to click on the polygon, the underlying polygon here, and we're going to extrude that down to the bottom. So we can go extrude polygon. And then finally, if we want, and we want this chimney section as well, we can just digitize a new polygon, holding down the Control key to open it up. Remember, it doesn't matter which image you begin digitizing in. Then we can just drag that object along to the same feature in the other image. And then with that object selected, we can also go extrude to ground. And it's going to extrude it all the way to the ground. Or if we want, we can find that object. We can pull it up to where it goes down to in the image. Oops, by move Z-axis. And now we have our feature. So thank you for watching another episode of PCI's Tech TV. Look for our other Tech TV episodes for technical insight and tips on learning how to get the most out of PCI's various software applications and offerings. Have a great day.